Trucks and 34.
I'm Vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! I started collecting all the way back in 2002, but got reintroduced here in around 2016. So about the last 5 years, I've been really heavy into Yu-Gi-Oh! On Instagram and YouTube.
I also started technically in 2002, but in my return, I didn't get back until about early 2018. So I'm a little bit newer than him in terms of the return, but we've both been into it now for a few years, and we've been into the old school stuff. So we enjoy seeing all this stuff. And wait,
what's that?
What did I just? Is that a first edition case of Legend of Blue Eyes?
Wow.
The first set in Yu-Gi-Oh history. This is a 12-box sealed case. Wow.
Definitely a pinnacle item. I've only ever seen two, and this is the first one I've ever seen sealed. So this is a true holy grail in the Yu-Gi-Oh world. Never thought I would see one sealed. These things are crazy rare. Not only boxes by themselves approaching $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000, but to have a complete sealed case is just unheard of. The cards inside, super nostalgic with the show, with kids growing up in the early 2000s. So just an iconic item here.
This case contains the original, the first edition Blue Eyes White Dragon. This one is probably the most desired card in Yu-Gi-Oh history because it's just universally accepted. It's similar to the Charizard and base set because you had to pull it out of a box, and it's very difficult to find. However, it's a little bit different than that because there's only two approximately per case because it's two ultras in every single box in here. There's 12 different boxes. So with there only being two ultras, you only have a 20% chance per box. This case nearly guarantees that you get 1 to 2, maybe even 3 Blue Eyes. While a box, if you were to buy one sealed, you would only have a 20% chance to actually pull it. So this, it's just a really rare item because one, it's sealed and you just don't see that. And two, the actual Blue Eyes it's nearly a guarantee, which is pretty insane.
And then this is a Trihorn case, so there are two secrets. This is a Trihorn case, so that out of the two secrets, you could only pull Trihorn.
Yeah, so theoretically, you could pull the entire set minus the Guy of the Dragon Champion secret rare. So you could almost open this up if you were to get crazy, and you could get the entire set yourself, which is pretty amazing, honestly, that you could even do that. Because, I mean, those sets are so crazy to find now, just the individual cards.
Yeah, so I think we've talked enough, so I think there's one thing left to do, and that's to get into this box.
Before we actually cut into this iconic product, let's just remind you guys what exactly this is. It's not just 12 LOB boxes. You can buy 12 LOB boxes anywhere. This is a sealed case. This is as they packaged them. It has not changed since they packaged it. They put the tape on there and it has not been removed since. 12 boxes inside. And not only that, this isn't a regular old cardboard box. Like, this has the actual Konami printing, which they did not continue to do. I think they stopped like just a few sets later. So it actually says the Legend of Blue Eyes. It says first edition on the case. This empty box itself is actually worth quite a bit. So it's a pretty rare item without even having the insanely rare 12 boxes inside. So just the fact that it has that, I mean, just check out this. Wait, where is it? First edition right here. Check that out. I mean, that's really cool to see. So just a reminder, just take this in. You're probably not going to see one of these maybe ever again. A sealed version, so it's pretty crazy.
Just a nice display piece by itself, even if it was empty. We're definitely not throwing this thing out once we open it. This is going to stay with the product as one sealed case.
I guess we're going to open this.
Yeah, I think we've looked at it enough, talked about it. Only one thing to do, and that is to
actually cut it open. As we mentioned, this is a pretty valuable box, so I'm just going to go into it and just carefully remove this tape. As we do it, I want to make sure that everybody can get a good view of it. So it's pretty stretchy here, so we're gonna rip it like that. There we go. Okay, that's officially unsealed on that side.
Yeah, I'll take over.
You take over on that side. You gotta be pretty careful.
Yeah.
It's a little bit resistant there.
Yeah, there we go. Get it cut through. So, and then there's gonna be two flaps here, so we're gonna barely start cutting here over the flap, and then we'll see if this will just slowly pull up here, or if we're gonna have to.
We can, yeah. Oh, there. That's nice. Yeah. You really careful. That way, no risk of cutting any boxes, which we don't want, obviously.
Yeah, might need a little cut.
Yeah, here we go. Just
you take over.
That gives us a little extra room.
Yeah, so we can get the gap off the box, so we don't accidentally cut into any cellophane on the sealed boxes.
We're gonna keep it nice and short, so we got a lot of extra room there. And
There
it is.
we have it.
Did you guys go to medical school?
We had it was a lot of training, so this
Uh,
is officially the moment. This is when you see it.
There they are.
That's 12
first
boxes.
edition. So this is the larger stamp first edition, which are the glossy boxes, which is what we expected. It matches the product code on the box, and they are in there very tightly. So it is kind of a unique process to get these boxes out, but everything right now looks legit, looks correct, and it's truly, you're not going to see what you just watched. You will probably see maybe one more time in your life.
Right, so it's looking good so far, but now the process, we got to get them out, we got to check the boxes, we got to 100% make sure that they're all good to go.
I have my scale here. We're going to weigh them. We know what they should weigh. We're going to look at the flaps, look at the logos, things like that. All of the boxes look level here. The cellophane here feels right. You can actually feel the difference between fake resealed boxes and legit boxes. The first edition stamps in the right spot. The Konami logo on fake boxes, the O and the N in the Konami logo here are actually touching. Those are normally on wavy boxes, which would have a smaller first edition stamp, but this is a glossy case, so it should have this larger first edition stamp, which matches up with the product code here on the box. I'm not concerned that these two boxes are this way and these two are this way. It's 2002, quality control is not the greatest, so they got put in there, how they did, and then that's how they've sat since March of 2002. So we just opened this box that is 19 and a half years old, so just crazy stuff. And you have any other thoughts, Phil?
Yeah, you can see a little bit, I don't know if you can tell here, but they're a little bit slightly pushed in, which is pretty normal for cases because they are on the top. These top boxes are not completely normal because they've had the cardboard pushing down on them for so long. So there's a slight push down on these top four boxes. And so the middle boxes are usually the most minty in my experience because the bottom kind of rub up against the cardboard. So the top four, they're a little bit there's a little bit of a valley, and then the bottom have a little bit of wear on the wrapping usually.
Yeah, so next up we will slowly get these boxes out because the seals on the edges are rubbing against each other, so we want to be very careful removing these from the boxes. We'll look at the seals. So far, no holes or anything here on these front four, so that's really good. The conditions look, case fresh mint, which is what you would expect. So we will get into it here and look thoroughly at these 12 boxes. We're slowly going to take the boxes out, look at the seals, look at the flap on the back, check the logo, check the barcode. The barcode should line up to a certain box, and it should line up with a Tri-Horn Dragon secret rare box, which is hobby box. These are hobby boxes.
Right.
So all that is public information that people long ago opening these products, they were just ripping it open and not knowing what to really expect inside. But now there's enough research that's been done that we know what we're opening. So I've opened one recently, Phil's opened one recently, so we know what to expect in these boxes. So you can pull a potential Tri-Horn, which Phil, in Phil fashion, opened one pack out in LA to confirm authenticity, and he pulled the Tri-Horn Dragon secret rare. So 100% believe these to be real, but we'll dive into it here a little deeper. We're going to weigh them. We know what the weights of the boxes should be, and it should be a great, fun time.
Another note, since we did mention the Tri-Horn Dragon, if you're sort of a newbie, you might be like, what does that mean? What does the secret rare mean? And hobby box, what does hobby box mean? It's used in sports and some other stuff, and it means different things. So for Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a misconception that 24-pack boxes, which is what these are, means hobby. It doesn't necessarily mean they are hobby. These are, but there's only a 24-pack box in Legend of Blue Eyes. There's no 36-pack box. That started 2 sets later in Magic Ruler. So understanding that the IPC or the code on the back is actually the way you actually can tell what secret rare it is, rather than the number of packs inside.
There's unlimited edition boxes, and those go for $3,000 to $4,000. These are first edition. No matter what Konami does, they're never going to reprint these. So Konami up until 2017 released unlimited LOB packs, but these are first edition. So original text, original artwork. Some artworks have been altered throughout the years and things like that. Text has been changed. They say Magic cards on them, so it's the original card, original artwork.
Yeah, the same original feel. So if you were around in 2002 and you were opening packs, like, this is exactly what you were going to get. And honestly, maybe even more rare because we were probably getting unlimited originals. But this is that exact same feel. It just has that first edition, which keeps it exclusive for basically the end of time. So it's pretty cool.
This is an epic item, and just to be able to hold 12 full boxes in this case is just. I thought I got struck by lightning once in LA, and then this just to happen again is just insane. So.
Yeah. So should we go ahead and take one out? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we'll start looking over them.
Okay. This is an interesting process. So as we mentioned, we opened a case before, and we actually opened a sealed Metal Raiders case, which is the second one. So we have a little bit of experience with the actual sealed case and getting them out. So it gets pretty hairy because, as we mentioned before, those seals kind of rub together and they kind of hold them in. So you really got to hold on to 3 and kind of just go for one. So it's like a 2-man job. So that's why we got 2 people here.
Once you get one out, the other 3 come, and then you get to the next layer, and then it's another battle.
Okay, so do you want to? Who do you want to do?
I'll tilt here, and then you can try to.
I'll get the 1, and you hold on to 3.
Yeah,
so, yeah. So this is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So
I'll
hold it
these
like
3.
that. Yeah, you don't want anything to fall out because it's obviously a big deal.
And then you probably got to even get it past 90 here.
Yeah.
So they're that tight here that nothing's falling out here. Yeah. So you're gonna have to get past 90 and hold the 3 here. Okay, I'm actually gonna lift it up a little bit.
It's pretty hairy here.
So we're gonna shake
a little bit. This is a professional job right here.
So here we go. First box.
First box. We have a first edition Legend of Blue Eyes box. That's awesome. And as I can see, I can already see a little hole in the back right there. Which
is common. Yeah,
that comes quite often, so there are always a little bit of those seals after a while. Some of them will come open like that, and then you got this. We actually were a little bit worried when we first saw this on our original case that it wrapped around, but it turned out that it's not actually that unusual. So
yeah, and normally fakes will go like all the way out here if someone tries to reseal one. So if it's just a little bit on the edge.
Yeah, what we're talking about is this big old thick seal right there. So it comes all the way here. That would be more of a sketchy thing. But if it just comes to that corner, that's pretty normal.
And then obviously the boxes have nice crisp corners on them. The code on the back that's where you determine if it's a Trihorn or a Gaia the Dragon Champion box. So if it ends there, I think it's 4-2, that's a Trihorn box. And then I think if it's 4-8, it might be a Gaia, but I could be off there. But that information is public out on forums and stuff. And obviously, if you ever have questions, you can reach out to either of us or many other people on the Instagram and YouTube community. Once you fold these boxes up, this portion actually pops up behind the box to have a nice appeal. Once you open the box, and on a store shelf, you could see the artwork. And none of these have been popped out here where you would see potentially on a resealed box. So this one also has a little tiny hole, which is fine because you're not going to be able to magically get a box out of a tiny hole like that. So in my opinion, it affects the value none at all. The seal is really tight. Other than that, like sometimes they're even like kind of loose, but these are really nice tight seals, which is also 19 years of pressure on this seal has probably created that little hole.
Yeah.
So definitely a really nice crisp box. So we have 2 out so far, and then we have 10 more to go, which is just insane to see the stack 3D. So there is box 3. We'll get them all out, and then we will weigh them.
See, okay, that one also, that one also has that little spot.
I would expect the middle 4 to be in the best condition.
The best 4, right.
So here is the last one on the upper layer, and this one is the first. Nope, this one has a tiny one as well.
Yeah.
But the plastic has been on there. It's almost like glued to the box. Like you're not getting the seal off there somehow, and then tampering with the box and then putting it back on magically. So everything so far through 4 boxes looks good, and we'll continue here with the second layer with the same kind of process.
Yeah, we gotta get crazy here.
Yeah.
These over here.
Alright, so I'm gonna we'll do that corner.
Go for it. Yeah, you gotta get back in your angle. This one's in there pretty good. You gotta keep going.
Okay, let me get under it here.
Yeah.
So we are obviously only going to probably do this one time as we want to limit our exposure.
Yeah, you keep going. You're good. Let's go. Gotcha.
Okay.
Go. All right, that's the difficult one. That's the one. Let's check out the back on these.
So,
there actually are another one. So yeah, it's like it's pretty consistent.
These
with the
seals
box.
seem a lot tighter than the ones in our other case, which once again, quality control back then is all over the place.
Yeah.
And not concerning to us at all that there is a hole. So we'll continue
Pretty nice.
to look through. Yeah, so it seems like whatever they were doing that day, it was just a little too tight, which has created these tiny stress marks. But the flap here, the overlap looks perfect through the back, straight through the middle. If they are, it'd be concerning if it was sideways, but that's still not a telltale sign that they are fake. But vertical, I've never seen a box with a vertical seal be fake, especially on a glossy, larger stamp first edition box.
All right, it's the official time. It's the moment of truth. This is probably the final step, I would say, to figuring out, if these are 100% legit, which we're feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, we're at 99.9, and this is going to put us right at 100%.
Right.
So we're going to take these boxes very carefully. These boxes should weigh between 340 and 360. And what's
We're
this
at
one?
357,
Yeah,
so we're right in that range.
Right in the range.
I think
here.
our original box was what, in the 350s?
Yeah,
as well?
353, 350, and there's obviously going to be some variation, but we'd also like to see some consistency as, a case probably.
Oh, yeah. Right on, 357.2. So
yeah, and these are in grams, so like very small difference in a gram is almost nothing in difference. So, in theory, these should have been printed the same, packaged the same day, put in the box, obviously, at one time. So all these boxes should weigh.
This is 356. So
Yeah.
This one's very close.
Yeah, all these boxes should weigh. If we were seeing 4 or 5, or that's probably acceptable. But if we were seeing 15 or 20 gram
We
difference,
got a heavy one, 360. So it's right at the 360.
Yeah,
So it's looking good.
Yeah, so far so good.
It's looking promising for the weights. Pretty consistent, 356 right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think. Well, I actually opened one of the heaviest ones, right?
Yeah,
I got a secret rare. So I don't
Yeah.
know if that's consistent or not, but
What are we at?
356.8. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
staying
yeah,
right in that
right
range.
in that 3 to 4 gram range here
Yeah.
for these beautiful, almost 20-year-old boxes.
Yeah, 355. So this is our lowest one so far. 355 to 360 is what
All right,
we're looking at.
I
right
guess
now.
I'll take one for the team and take that one.
All right, yeah, you take the light one, yeah, for sure. This one's a 357.6.
Yep, so right on track there.
Okay. You got a 352. This is our lowest one so far, so this is very low, but it's still within the eight range. So it's not really.
Yeah, normal.
We said 343. I mean, it's anywhere in those 20s.
360 is definitely on the high end, but not concerning at all.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some variation.
Yeah, go ahead and move that one
Yeah.
real quick. There we go. And then we're at 357, so that looks like the median there. We're hitting 357 a lot of times. We got 2 more here and check them out. And then we got a 353, so that one's a little bit above that lowest one.
Yeah.
And then a final box, we have a 354.8. So all of it between 352 and 360, so about an 8 range, which is pretty normal, pretty solid from our our experiences.
Yep. Nothing, a red alert or anything like that. These are as genuine as you're gonna find. You can't get any more authentic than from a complete sealed case. So seals look right, the flap on the back look right, the weights look right. The boxes themselves are in case fresh condition where there's going to be some small flaws like the hole on the back or something like that you'd expect from either factory defect or being in a case for 19 years. This got shipped across the country, so it got jostled around a little bit. So there's always going to be some small defect, but doesn't affect the value, in my opinion, at all. Knowing that these are 12 boxes packed on the same day in the same box, and you pretty much have a guarantee at 2 complete full sets from these 12 boxes, and many more complete sets of rares and commons.
Minus the retail secret. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only card you cannot pull.
You pull 4 to 6 Trihorn Dragons, but no guide.
Make a trade. Somebody trade.
Yeah. At that point, I think you could probably buy one. But yeah, everything looks 100% legit. All right, so we've just weighed all 12 of these epic boxes. Just crazy to come across one of these once, but to actually find a sealed case and to be able to open a case that was supposed to be opened over 19 years ago and ripped open, just to have this and see this in person is just a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And whoever ends up winning this, I am very envious of you. Definitely a one-of-a-kind item for any collection or even any investor that is looking to find a rare item. Just you're not going to see. You might see one or two, but I don't know of any other one besides this one.
Right. Yeah, this just an original goal for a lot of people when they get back in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just to see one of these, hold one of these, just the booster box itself. And actually getting a chance to get the original case with 12 of them, just even holding them, opening the case, it's just epic. It's pretty awesome to get to do this. So we're really excited to have been here, and I'm really glad that they're legit, so that somebody's going to get 12 awesome boxes, and even that awesome, cardboard box with the, the printing on it's really cool. So this was great.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are content with, an unlimited set or an empty first edition box or an empty first edition wrapper. And here we have, 24 packs in each box, 12 boxes, 288 first edition packs with every card in the set minus the Guy of the Dragon Champion. So just, nostalgic overload for people that grew up in the early 2000s that, you remember seeing these on shelves at retail stores and the first websites and things like that. So just, a true trip down memory lane here, seeing these boxes.